Hi, everybody. I can see actually Peter Lenz has just arrived. So Olivia, our stage manager, I hope you can find him now and bring him on for his contribution. Yeah, brilliant, thanks.
Hi. I hope you can hear me. My browser just crashed a minute ago. Then I had to do all the login again. I'm very sorry. So, thanks to the critical remarks Salomé made, because I won't be critical. As Waldek mentioned, I was asked to critically reflect and comment on the ALTE principles of good practice. But if you now expect many critical words from the president of EALTA, the European Association for Language Testing and Assessment, you'll be disappointed. I will mostly praise ALTE's work and documents, also due to personal experiences in my own professional past. EALTA and ALTE are mostly not direct competitors as language testing associations in Europe because their target memberships differ quite a bit. EALTA wishes to serve a very broad membership, primarily 3 different audiences. Those involved through research and practice in the training of teachers in testing and assessment, those involved in classroom testing and assessment, and those involved in the development of tests in national or institutional testing units or institutions. ALTE does not entirely exclude any of these audiences from the benefits of its work, but at its core, ALTE is an association of institutional members who wish to offer quality examinations. Naturally, ALTE strives to serve their purposes in the first place. In the past, ALTE membership was more exclusive than today. Nowadays, the entry ticket can be attained by way of an examination that has been awarded the Q mark, the ALTE quality seal, through a successfully completed audit. I consider the opening of ALTE to more exam providers than previously a clearly positive development. As you know, the Q mark is an element of the ALTE quality management system. I think there is a lot to like about the ALTE QMS. For me, the main point is that ALTE does not limit its activities to simply setting and monitoring standards. Instead, they foster professional learning and empowerment by providing support and learning opportunities in various forms to institutions and individuals wishing to attain the standards with their examinations. The method to base the Q mark audit on a self-assessment process carried out by the test providers themselves is no doubt a factor that promotes professional empowerment. This even more so as this self-assessment has the shape of a validity argument for a concrete examination and its declared purpose. And this validity argument is based on the 17 very relevant ALTE minimum standards relating to 1, test construction, 2, administration and logistics, 3, marking and grading, 4, test analysis, and 5, the communication with stakeholders. The purpose of the ALTE validity argument is to demonstrate overall test usefulness while taking into account and verifying a number of highly relevant aspects of examination quality that reflect pretty much the state of the art in validation. When exam providers, instead of external auditors, have to work through quality checklists to produce a validity argument for their examination, we can expect a lasting impact on quality through learning and therefore intellectual empowerment. Only a few years ago, I had the opportunity to observe in the context of language testing for immigration purposes in Switzerland what the requirements to meet the slightly adapted ALTE standards in combination with offers of support can do to the professional learning of previously little qualified exam providers, as well as to the quality of their language tests, especially relating to the maintenance of good quality over time. This takes me to the next point. ALTE was not itself involved in the recognition process in Switzerland I've just talked about, but the group of testers in charge of the exam recognitions used the standards that ALTE had made available to the public as a core element for their work. I truly appreciate ALTE's services to the public by making useful tools like the standards available. This also has a more personal background. Quite a few years ago, I personally had the opportunity to benefit from a document from the early days of ALTE. It was a working document titled Language Examining and Test Development, prepared by Mike Milanovic and his colleagues at Cambridge. You probably know its current successor, which is the Manual for Language Test Development and Examining. That initial document motivated me to take my first small steps in item and test analysis, which was a game-changing discovery for me and which I still like doing today. I've benefited from many more documents that ALTE prepared in their own name or to which they made a contribution together with experts from the Council of Europe, EALTA, and others. Let me just mention the documents produced in the context of language assessment for migration and integration, the Manual for Relating Language Examinations to the CFR, or the CFR itself. Let me finish with one last observation. When I first looked more systematically into the 30-page booklet titled ALTE Principles of Good Practice, I started looking for the actual principles of good practice inside. I discovered the ILTA Code of Ethics, the ALTE Code of Practice, and finally the 17 minimum standards. And it took me a while to fully understand that all this taken together, plus accompanying texts, forms the ALTE Principles of Good Practice, which form the written basis of an ecosystem in the service of good practice in language examining. To me, the ALTE Principles of Good Practice appear somewhat as a conglomerate. But not even this is a reproach, because this conglomerate, consisting of carefully chosen bits and pieces from different times and sources, illustrates very nicely the dynamic it takes to keep up with new insights and new needs arising in different areas when quality examination services in changing contexts are the goal. Thank you for listening.